mean, mimes are stupid.
Is that not MIME?
It is.
I mean, isn't the same thing as any files? All right, YouTube should be up. Let's hold on. Let's check.
That would be I-nigh. If you really want to say it like a word, it would be like I-nigh. When there's confusion for the word saying, that's when you say something. That's when you use the acronym.
I look at it like GIF and GIF. They don't really matter.
A GIF is a peanut butter, and it starts with a J.
It doesn't matter. Anyway, we are live and on the air. Welcome everyone to the Foolish Tech Show. We are here primarily to provide you support and answer any questions about our products and services. If you'd like to do that, feel free to jump over to our IRC chat at foolishtechshow.com. We have a couple ways you can join from there. And it looks like we got Phoenix and Joe Chamberlain and Zombie Worm all joining us in the chat already. Welcome. Hi. How's it going? And yeah, so it's Friday evening, Nick's favorite time of day show. So how's it going?
It's going.
Yeah, it's going.
Okay. Well, I have
things in the news today.
Yeah, I have one big thing that I want to lead off with here, and Phoenix posted a link about it as well. So I'll post his link. But I'm going to kind of shorten it because I don't like these grab it gotcha titles, but that's the big info there, and the actual main site it came from is there, and it's called the USB Killer version 2.0.
Oh, yeah, that was the one I was gonna mention.
This thing is crazy, man. It's
the concept's been around. The concept's been talked about for quite for quite a few months recently, but
since February of last year.
Okay, there you go.
But now they're commercializing it.
They commercialized it. That's the scary part of it. And the good thing, though, the one sort of saving grace I like on this is that they're highly discounting if it's purchased with the test shield for it. So
well, the test shield is half price, which is $13 already. So
yeah, but there's also discounts with bundling in it. But I would hope that this isn't.
That is the discount with bundling.
Wait, what is the point of what is this? What?
This video does a pretty good demo of it, but they also have their own demo on their page if you look at it.
It uses the USB port to charge up a series of capacitors inside the casing of that, and then it, as soon as those capacitors are full, it immediately discharges them. And unless you've taken some extra steps to shield your USB ports, or the device manufacturer, whoever manufacturers shield their USB ports, it would typically result in a dead device. And
what device? What do you mean?
So
it depends on whatever you plug it into.
Has a USB port, you can plug it in, it'll charge up, and then basically send that electrocution back through that USB port. So whatever that USB.
I'm pretty sure I've fried something like a motherboard or something with a USB plug-in bad device kind of thing in the past. I didn't have to pay for it either.
Well, yeah.
This one's designed specifically to do it and be reusable.
Yeah, there are situations.
That thing away, but I would give it away for free, honestly.
Yeah, there have been some devices that have undergone damage or have otherwise been.
Yeah, I mean, there's
altered to produce this effect.
Can you not? I mean, do you really have to have a thing that charges? Is it what it charges?
It's guaranteed to work. In other words, you can't repeatedly, with what you're talking about. That's just sort of might happen to a device if it's been wear and tear for.
I'm pretty sure it was pretty fatal. Anytime it was used. I don't remember. It seems like
But it's not. You didn't make that device that way to do that.
No, but I guess you could probably short some pins or something and get some stuff to happen like that. I mean,
not every USB device, like a flash drive, wouldn't have capacitors to make this happen.
But why do you? But I know. But do you really need that much juice?
Well, that's
Well,
the whole point. It's
this-
supposed to
I mean,
damage.
you
and
need
there's
So
a-
yours,
it's an
yours
attack
and then
vector.
blast
wait,
All
wait,
these
wait.
ports are an attack
Yours
vector.
only killed the motherboard. If you watch that video I posted when he did his testing, it set the power supply on fire and destroyed the entire machine.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome! $50 component.
And
Okay,
so
that's
printers,
great.
laser
Like a
printers,
$200
and Kinkos
motherboard,
could all be
not worth it,
destroyed.
but-
Laser printers at Kinko, for instance, could all be destroyed, or copiers, or anything that has a USB device or USB, and everything does. Your car might have a USB jack in it. That this could potentially do something.
Well,
to
I get that. I'm just saying if it's like if it's not going to protect itself against the 5 volts or whatever and however many amps that thing pushes out.
That's
then,
a good question, though.
it's
They
out.
probably
I
should.
mean, all you got to do is run one wire to the other. You know, as long as it's not protected. If it doesn't protect against that much, you've damaged something.
They
So,
claim that Apple's devices are typically
Yeah,
are protected against this, but I don't know.
I don't
It
know.
remains
I
to
only
be
use this
seen.
big anchor beast here. What is this big
See, that's
anchor
a problem.
beast?
You really don't know whether or not you're affected
Yeah.
until you try it out, right?
Oh, it won't reach.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Here, I use this dude. Oh, that's not it. Wait. Can you see this guy? What am I looking at? Yeah, this guy right here, this big anchor thing. Let's get a link for that sucker. It's a big.
Oh yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. It better not. Yeah, it better just not mess with that.
But if you plug one of these devices in, not only would it destroy that, it would also probably
Destroy all
destroy
the other devices plugged into it. Yeah.
your devices plugged into it and the
It better
device
not.
connected to.
Let me look this thing up. Actually, it better not. It better just destroy like nothing.
Well,
Well,
Probably like
according to
not
the
even.
video,
I have
destroy
one
it.
on order. We'll test it out on yours next
Do you
week.
have the? Do you have the? Oh, you have one of those
It's-
things.
it's-
Why
it's
do you want to
expensive.
destroy something? You want to test something? Don't test all
Yeah.
that stuff.
We're gonna test it.
You order the Acre thing. You test it yourself.
No, we're gonna come over to your place and
What's
we're
the
gonna
power anchor?
And
You know, it's gosh.
Brantley, did you see your favorite? I think right. You like Linux Mint? They have the KDE version of 18 out now.
Yeah, I don't like KDE either.
Yeah.
It does mean you got to come down.
So, which is your favorite desktop environment for Linux? Did you say?
Well, right now I'm using just the regular Mint 18 Cinnamon.
Cinnamon, yeah.
And Door made fun of me for it because that's like a highly unsecure OS because they're based on Debian. No, they're based on Ubuntu, which is based on Debian. So Debian gets patches and updates first, then Ubuntu integrates those patches and updates, and then Mint decides to update those patches and updates. So
Interesting. So their release. Okay. What? Okay. Yeah. All right. What about that thing about the plane being redirected? I thought that was an interesting story.
yeah, did you link to it?
Oh, you want me to link to it? Okay.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna mention it.
Yeah, I suppose so. Okay. Yeah. So you know, your pilot's in a rush, and he's looking, transcribing some numbers, coordinates, or whatever into the ship's navigation systems. Yeah, you won't end up where you wanted to go. But I just would have thought that there would have been a million mechanisms, including ground control people and whatnot, that would have caught this and somehow communicated the error back to them. They went through their whole flight and landed in the wrong city. They were supposed to go to Malaysia,
that's
and they
what
landed
we're
in Melbourne.
needed.
They went to
How
Ulster.
everybody else like missed the fact that they had to contact ground control to land.
And when they went to Australian airspace, they would have had to have known that. So I don't totally get this.
I don't think they do.
Hey.
I don't think it announces that you're entering airspace.
No. But I thought when you do I thought that some air traffic controllers do have to talk to you or whatever, or maybe that's just North Korea. I don't know, or China, or those islands over that China's building in the South China Sea.
Hey, Zombie Worm
Thank you,
says.
zombie.
Yeah, he says he showed off D7.2 to some students, and they were blown away by the automation. So awesome. Net Hunter says he prefers Crunch Bang. I've used that on my ebook a little bit.
That sounds familiar.
Slim
What does he prefer that to?
To other Linux distros.
Oh, Linux okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I've used it before. It's a very small, lightweight, easy to use, or fast distro. So if you have a small powered system, it's good.
I mean, I'll go minimalist, XFC, you know, or something a little bit more, you know, lightweight for the desktop environment. But those tiny Linux distros, I haven't, you know, as much as they've been probably intriguing, I haven't messed around with them too much. And surprisingly, like the Pi's Linux distributions and stuff like that are relatively large and full featured, you know.
Yeah. Well, the Crunch Bang is still large and full featured. It's just they optimized for speed and.
I gotta look into that. I haven't explored that. Thanks.
That's weird.
Zombie Worm says Crunch Bang is when Nick sits on the wrong cushion for the prostate.
Oh goodness, they know about my prostate.
Oh, it's made by Bunsen Labs. All right.
Yeah. Hey, Nick, apparently, well, you probably don't need to know, but if anybody else has been wanting to get the Squatty Potty that Nick has highly recommended, it's on a discount today for 7-inch model for $17. If you've been looking to get
height.
Yeah.
I don't know what I didn't know there were different heights. It was kind of a gag gift, but it's proven awesome.
Well, it's
effective. It's just awesome. It's comfortable. Enjoy it. Otherwise, I'm on my tippy toes anyway.
That'll work.
Yeah,
BunsonLabs.org.
And they have the best commercials. Where's my video? Is this because I moved my camera? Are you mad at me?
Maybe. And you moved that anchor.
Is he asking you, or is he asking?
I did move the anchor. Oh yeah, crud. Darn you. And everything plugged into this anchor so I could just unplug it. And remember the last time I did that, I had to reboot to get everything to work again.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, because it was, I was like, let me just plug all of my microphones and headsets and speakers and things into this one thing so I can just disconnect it when I really want to be private. But no. Nah, it seems like I have to reboot when I do that.
Yeah, that's not how that's supposed to work.
Well.
Phoenix posted a couple things here. FBI arrested 2 hackers who hacked the U.S. spy chief, FBI, and CIA directors. Those were 2 hackers in North Carolina, I believe, so right around you guys. And no, it wasn't Proctor. That's why he's not here. Also posted that almost 400,000 uTorrent forum accounts are up for sale. And I guess that's interesting. And then a man accused of being part of the CIA hacking group has already been doxxed. So some interesting links from Phoenix there. He had a bunch of other links. Let's see if there are any others that are worth throwing out there. I did like this, and I had it already ready to link here. Okay, sorry about that, everyone. Nick figures out his USB.
You didn't try to plug in the bad thing, did you? Oh.
There was one that was interesting here. I'm trying to find. Oh, here we go. The DuckDuckGo is trying to become a search engine for programmers, so making it easier to search for code and code links. That's DuckDuckGo. Thought that was pretty cool. What else we got? Oh! Whoa! Still doing. Stop, Nick.
Underwater machine gun?
Nick, you're gonna have to reboot.
disable the audio?
Yeah. There we go. It is brutal sound. It's not Michael this time. It's actually Nick and his USB issues. And he's rebooting now, so he's not going to touch that anchor again, it sounds like.
Oh, geez. Well, this might be a story when he gets back, so I guess we can prep for that.
Well, I'll hold that link because that link was for him specifically. I thought this was cool for all us drone fans out there. There's a this guy is doing wakeboarding, being pulled by eight blade drone. It's pretty sweet. We already did the hacking thing. So this is pretty nice. Yeah, we probably will. That was shocking.
Whoa. Have you already posted it? No. Okay. I got this is pretty robot story of the day maybe. Well, video of the day. How about that?
Atlas stands up and doesn't fall over.
Oh, yeah.
Whoop-de-doo.
I mean, I just
He's
think
still attached to like thousands of cords.
Yeah, but the point is that's a lot of control. I mean, you know, for
because he can go like this. He can't even do the wavy man dance that those inflatable.
And you would argue, why even make a human? Why not just make some sort of animal form that's more optimized for whatever particular task you're going for? But the point is that robotics are here to. Well, if it's running per se or something like that, they might be, depending. For certain things, I mean, you know, sensory perception might be an issue. You know, if you have to be good.
Post a note about what that link's about.
So where's my Hexchat window? So this was Atlas.
Doesn't fall over.
Balance as well. There we go. So
well, I'm still concerned because he did have all those things attached to his head, possibly keeping him upright.
Okay.
And it's not like they did. I didn't watch the whole video, but I don't think they did like they walked around behind him.
Did you do the drone surfing video?
Yeah, that's what I just posted right before this.
Oh, is that same thing? Yeah, it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, in other news, Virgin Galactic is returning to the sky. So if you want to get close to space commercially, you now can, or not commercially, but like non-commercially.
Well,
if you want to leisurely get to space,
you mean
you can now.
It's expensive and yeah.
It is, I didn't say it wasn't expensive.
Yeah, I don't. I think it does cost down a little bit, but it's yeah, getting into orbit is one of the most.
It's cool that you can see the curve of Earth though from it. So. If anybody has ever wanted to control their Android device from their keyboard and mouse, apparently there's an app for that now called Desk Dock. I'm not quite sure why you would want to do that though, but maybe you do. And speaking of Android, here's some gestures that you might not know about. There was one or two that I didn't know about here. Let's see if I can find them again to point them out. Oh, pressing and holding on your notifications can give you some additional options. Marshmallow Plus. There was one other one that was interesting to me. The triple tap zoom. Did you know you could do that?
Triple tap zoom. Yeah,
I knew about the
double
tap and hold so that you could zoom in and out, but I didn't know if he triple tapped it zoomed in like
Was
that.
it the triple tap? Maybe it was the double tap and hold I'm thinking of. I don't do a whole lot on my phone, to tell you the truth.
Well, guess what time of year it is? It's time to watch
Almost
trees
autumn.
change colors.
Autumn, yay, yay.
And now you can see the fall foliage prediction map will help you figure out where to go and when to go. Which also means that the Blue Ridge Mountains, this is the largest or most popular time of year for the Blue Ridge Mountains, because you get to see all of the changing colors of all the trees and leaves. It's actually a worldwide attraction.
Yeah,
I was thinking about driving up there tomorrow.
beautiful this time of year, or getting
Yeah.
into this time of year. Might be still a little early for it, but well, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.
I just want to take a drive.
You guys
Yeah.
are so close, aren't you? I mean, what's it looking like out by you, Tank?
It'll be different in the mountains.
Leaves haven't really started changing down here, and I'm like just south of the mountains.
Yeah, I think it's a
But
little early.
if you go and look at that fall foliage prediction map, I believe
Foliage.
that's supposed to tell you. So,
Foliage.
Jeff, we already started this conversation off today. But yeah, it's very. If you have an opportunity to go to the Blue Ridge Mountains during that time, highly recommend it, because they do have some of the best colors and changes and things. That was the only kind of downside about being in Colorado at that time of year, is like at that point in Colorado you get two color choices. You get yellow from the aspens and green from the pines, which it does look really nice seeing like the aspens, because they have weird patterns going throughout the pines, and like you get big splotches of yellow and all kinds of things. It's pretty nice. But let's see what else we got. Oh, more drone news. Firefighters are using drones to make their jobs safer. That would be interesting, though, seeing a drone go into a fire and then make it back out. And yeah, Glenn, we did talk a lot about the USB killer. We had a whole bunch of links on it. We'll post them for the show. Let's see, what else we got? Oh, if you ever plan to hold a slam dunk competition on a moving train, you're going to want to make sure you have a ton of basketballs available, because they get lost easily, obviously.
Oh, darn it. They debunked the 5-second rule very thoroughly recently. Did you see that? Oh.
Yeah, if you actually thought that ever existed, congratulate your parents on being cheap and making you believe things that
No, I think I was the one that wanted that to be the safe rule, but I just think I don't think it's safe to coddle our immune system. So I'm all for throwing my food on the floor and picking it up just to test it out. You know.
And
I can confirm
that like a long time ago.
I can confirm that is how Michael eats. You bring him a plate of food, he will immediately throw it on the floor and then pick it up. So.
Well, I mean, again, you know, I think some of the coddling of our immune systems have caused certain issues, possibly.
Your video is frozen too.
Nah. Really? Oh, crap. So none of that.
Yeah, I am more for the don't waste your time on the, like, you should try to build up your immune system. It's like vaccines, and vaccines actually do work. So
yeah, is that sort of concept. Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
I'm not sure I want to.
But we can hear you now.
Yep. And
Yeah.
no bad.
Oh, now we can see you.
Well, yeah, you could see me before. I couldn't get back my audio. Like, my problem used to be that when I did that, I had no video ever again until I rebooted, and this time it was audio. Did everything I could. was like a surgeon with skilled hands fighting against the clock. Yeah, it just didn't work out.
Did you have the VAC stuff running?
I did, sir.
That's probably why we heard the loud, like it was really loud noise feedback. It was like.
What the hell is Ned Hunter talking about? What's Ned Hunter talking about?
Like
Is he
right
just
after
joking, or what's the FEMA?
That was probably Michael. I saw the hex chat. That was probably Michael. That was
No,
like,
it was your audio stuff.
I'm sure. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was your audio feeding back in. And it sounded like something that VAC would have ended
Well,
up.
I wouldn't blame VAC. I would blame Windows for not working.
Yeah, well, that too.
Mm.
But the VAC
I blame Windows 10.
took the Windows not working and amplified it horribly.
I really doubt it. It was still actually working fine. It was like it wasn't getting any audio input from Windows. Like there were like nothing at all. Anyway.
Yep. Yeah, NetHunter, what are you talking about?
He is talking about not being here right now. Looks like
Oh, I think I know what he's talking about. I just did.
Oh, he left right after that.
What? I think
He's
I know what
not-
he's talking about.
NSA's after him or something.
He's
What
talking
the heck?
about this. It's like a conspiracy theory video or something. Let's
Man,
see.
how
I
many
think
videos?
FEMA Conspiracy vid.
Well, he lives in.
At your own risk.
He lives in the area where they do a lot of those test drills and runs and things. So it's possible that he could actually be seeing those. Like,
Well,
there
there was a
large-scale
documentary film reporter doing the video that I just linked to.
well,
Apparently.
there have been large-scale operations that have been proven where they're taking the military into towns and acting like it's a what's it called when
Martial law.
acting like it's martial
Yeah.
law and
Yeah, they're
not
practice thingies.
but they're not informing the citizens of this. They're going in and treating it like this is a martial law situation.
They're
And
also training cops to do that. For instance, in Richmond,
Well,
not that long ago, my brother and some other friends up there witnessed the same thing that actually instigated a shooting. They were coming and basically stopping everybody and questioning them. And
you do realize that this is what the people the Illuminati reptilian, the ones on YouTube who say that they've been talking about that forever.
yeah, well, I mean, there is maybe a decent amount of evidence to be supportive of that, but
Yep, and he noticed that an old prison in Texas got changed to a FEMA facility. I won't say camp.
I mean, none of these.
Hey, have you been following this guy? I haven't even been there for a billion years.
I don't know. I don't want to.
I was saying
Not
Net
you,
Hunter-
Michael.
Net
I'm
Hunter just
conspiratorial.
that.
Oh.
That's what I meant. He.
Oh crap! I bet they're going crazy on the G pluses about this. Good thing I'm not there.
Well, Nick, I had a couple links that I was holding off for you, so these are good ones for you specifically. So, Dan Ankerman, do you know that name?
No, I don't.
Well, apparently he wrote a book about
Dan
how it's called the Tetris effect, the game that hypnotized the world.
I remember hearing about that actually. I didn't read it though. It's like a book.
Yeah, it is a book. So actually, it looks like he's got two: the Tetris effect and Tetris, the games people play. And it's more of a philosophical consideration of Tetris and its place in the cultural history. Now we're hearing a bunch of.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
What?
That was coming from your computer.
What are you talking about? My phone was just making a lot of noise.
Yeah, that was coming over through the computer. We were hearing that.
My phone is not hooked up to the computer.
I'm just telling you what we heard, man.
It's my phone, dude. What?
So what do you
How
think
did we
about?
hear that?
You hear my phone? I got a problem now.
Did you guys all already talk about the Facebook censorship
Do not
thing?
disturb on. Bad.
Did you?
No, we haven't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's obviously reasons why this photo may have been flagged by systems, including automated systems, for, child pornography and other things. But
Child pornography.
it is a iconic
I
photo
would
that
never
was. No, it was this was taken at the height of the Vietnam War after a village was napalmed, and
What does that have to do
everyone's
with
clothes was everyone's clothes were burnt off and their skin was horribly charged, and they were running into the camera. And well, because I mean,
That goes with child pornography.
Well, it was a child naked in the picture.
Yeah,
It is an
so-
iconic photo about a significant time.
Child have to do with child pornography.
I didn't say cow. What do you? A child.
You said cow. You keep cow pornography. You said.
Okay. Anyway, I'm glad Facebook
I know you're like that,
decided to
but-
look at it, but I mean, I don't necessarily do. Brantley, do you think that like Mark Zuckerberg said, "Hey, take that photo down"? No, I don't. I believe it was some automated system, right? That happened to do it,
Yeah.
and then of course made aware of it and taking it in context and an understanding of its meaning. Then it's put back in place. I don't really.
This is
See-
what happens when you report to the world instead of reporting to the company that took the action. It gets made into a huge media big hugbug, and like, oh, Facebook and Zuckerberg, he's taking down historical photos, and
Yeah,
that's not at all what happened. So.
Yeah, and that's and I think that that's wrong, and I'm that's one of the reasons why I posted this. It's worse how the headlines had it, and I read this story on on our other site that we sometimes look at, and its headline was worse, regarding it, and
Well, that's what they're going for, is clickbait titles, and that's why it's ridiculous and that's probably why I wasn't even going to bring it up, is because it's just a clickbait situation where the media was able to take something that happened innocuous and make a huge deal out of it. So now millions of people around the world are clicking these links to figure out.
Well, I do believe that it might have some sort of positive effect. I don't believe our current generation even might be aware of some of the details of the Vietnam War. Hopefully, some of the movies made about them are still around and still popular. But
Because everyone knows we learn from movies.
well, I'm not
You do.
saying that. I'm not saying that that's the
I
case, but
did.
Like
they
an
need to
article,
be
man.
exposed. I'm just what
I've
are
learned
kids
a whole
what
lot
are kids
since
listening
I just
to?
watched the Blu-ray of X-Men Apocalypse Now.
What? That's
Or,
science.
No, X-Men Apocalypse. It wasn't Apocalypse.
Fantasy or science.
That would have been a way cooler.
Does it matter?
That could have made both movies better.
Yeah, Wolverine jumping out of the helicopter. No!
Use a helicopter.
It is. That's what it is.
Um,
Glenn learned all his hacking movies from the movie Hacker. Or Hacker.
Ah, dearie.
All right, one more link for Nick on the Friday show. They've designed a beer mug that won't block the TV while you chug it.
What? You're kidding me. It's impossible.
It's called a TV beer mug. They don't have a video of how it works. So.
I see. But does it not have a handle on the other side? How can you, or, I don't know about that. You always have to use your right hand.
Well, see, I don't. Is it going that? Yeah, I guess that would be how it would not block the TV. Like,
Why don't you just, like, I don't know, drink it instead of, or get a straw or something if you're going to be a pansy. You don't really need to hold it up there the whole movie.
drink beer with a straw.
I didn't say it wasn't ridiculous. I just said.
So I thought this was a cool thing. So this guy built a sequencer, and he did it just so he could test arcade buttons out. So various different arcade buttons he had found. He wanted to test them out, and he actually built something to make a functional test out of it. So I thought that was pretty cool. And hopefully he gave you some good information about which arcade buttons are the best, since all these Pi-enabled console things are coming up.
To test video.
Lynn, who says it doesn't? It's very possible that keyboard mashing can speed up antivirus actions.
Brantley,
Speeds up like
I know you
programmatic-
hate the. I know
just
you,
like virtually anything.
don't
across
like
Isn't that a new Windows 10
Windows
feature, actually? Keyboard mashing improves speed. No need to download RAM, just bash your keyboard.
I know, it beats the heck out of mouse RAM.
So they're coming out with new versions of the consoles, the current generation consoles, with the same name. They're not like Xbox 2 or whatever, or PS5. They're the same.
Still called Xbox. What?
Yeah, but it's interesting. They're starting to, usually what they would do is they would put out another release that was cheaper for them to make, maybe more efficient or whatever, but generally the same specs and power, and they would sell that to help their profits, of course. But now they're taking a tactic of actually increasing the power in the consoles midstream. So.
Crap.
Yeah, so the higher CPU speeds, more GPU resources.
Midstream.
Well, in other words, before the next generation is launched, and so you have this situation where you have PS4s that are capable of one type of gameplay and PS4s that are
no
not
idea what you
capable.
meant by midstream. I can tell you about midstream, but you don't want to come with me.
Okay. Well, at any rate, this is mainly
think
brought
that's
on by
dumb.
VR and 4K. These are the primary reasons for doing these
The
types
way
of upgrades.
consoles have always worked, it's dumb to do it that way. They should just put a new number on it and release it. I mean,
See,
that's
I'm kind of
biggest
in agreement with that. I'm in agreement with that.
consoles is you're buying the hardware, so if it's brand new hardware, it shouldn't be the same.
Well, it's not completely brand new. I mean, it's more like so. In other words, they got a, like a doubled up
an
GPU.
updated version of the hardware. Is what I mean.
Yeah, they did, and it's clear that they were
And now you're
limited
gonna
in
have
what they could do.
Well, you're going to have a whole bunch of parents going out and buying PS4s this Christmas.
To replace existing PS4s, which is crazy.
Well, no, not that. Not that. They're just going out and buying a new PS4 for their kid because their kids always wanted a PS4. Now they go to the store, they see one PS4 for $100, another PS4 for $200. They look like the exact same thing to the parent. Parent's going to buy the $100 PS4, not the $200 PS4. And then the kid's going to be upset.
Just
So
hypothetical
yeah, I
pricing,
got a
but
PS4 finally. This is not the PS4 I wanted, though. That's ridiculous.
It's
like,
confusion.
Well, it gets to hate their parents.
No, granted, they are naming these differently. So they're calling like the PS4 Slim for the lower scaled version, and the PS4 Pro for the
See, I would think Slim would not be a lower scaled version. I would think that would be like the more expensive version, the same thing but look better in your.
Well, this
yeah, it was tinier.
the Slim is
No.
what I was saying was they're designed to shrink it, to make it more efficient and to but it basically had the same.
I thought it was about space.
Yeah, it is smaller. It
aesthetics.
is visually smaller too, but it's also they do those optimization tweaks so that it's cheaper to produce for them. And I totally understand that, and that's always been the case. If you buy late in the stream, if you were a couple of years into the Xbox One generation, you would expect them. You'd expect it to be, and they've done that before. They re-released the Nintendo.
Yeah, I
with,
don't see
the
how you
original
keep
Nintendo
using
in
stream.
1990.
Like, where did you get that word to use?
Huh?
Where did you get that Where did you get that terminology? Stream.
It's an older thing.
It's
not new.
like literally a stream. It's like literally. Okay.
Anyway, yeah, for Christmas, I guess this year, parents, please be aware of the specific details of what you're getting.
Joe Chamberlain has a tech question. Glenn says. I missed that. I'm sorry.
My company wants to set a way to do auto logins for a time while we scan. Well, D72 is perfect for having a computer auto login.
Well, D72 just does it for itself and for its session. You have to use D72 to start it and to stop it. Of course, you could script it, with some registry changes. There is a program that does this, actually. Doesn't Sysinternals make something that does this? Just that?
You don't need any programs to set up the auto login in Windows.
Well, you don't, but I mean, there are some caveats.
It is Sysinternals. It is a Sysinternals tool.
There are some different caveats depending on the OS. So an external program that takes all of that into account is the way to go. Like, for example, like XP or no, XP was one way, and everything before it, and maybe Vista 2. I think 7 or 8, maybe it's 8 and above. There's like an extra key that you have to write to force the auto log on, or it just won't work, and then a couple other things you got to keep in mind.
Control user passwords too isn't going to help there, Michael.
You can set up auto login that way. Just turn it on.
To
not
script
scripting. No, not scripting.
How do you, yeah. Well, you want to walk around to each workstation and do that for them?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Just
say, yeah, Sysinternals, thank you. Really.
I'm not seeing if it has command line arguments, though.
Yeah, don't you have to run that just the same way?
You can pass the username, domain, and password as command line arguments. But I don't know if that... Like, I guess you would have to have that stuff first to be able to turn it on.
Well, I'm sure they would.
So yeah, I think the Sysinternals that I linked to will probably be your best option, and Nick knew about, so. There's that.
Markonovich needs the credit for that one. I could have done that, just doing other things.
What, getting the link?
Well, no, I mean doing the program. Well, I did in D7 I just never standalone.
Just standalone, yeah.
Scriptable. Is it scriptable though? I mean,
yeah. Shook brings up a good point. Kids being upset to get a brand new free PS4. Yeah, you'd smack them silly. He says.
Well, that's why Nick said kids just hate their parents. So.
Yeah,
Moving on from that. So the National Air and Space Museum is offering a unique turn on their tours.
Air and space?
Huh?
Is it Air and Space?
Yeah. Have you never been to that?
It's one of the more popular ones.
It's a pretty nice place to go if you're ever in DC.
Jeez, that's a you really should. It's easy too. It's close.
Aeronautics.
It's great. I mean they
do have that.
They used to have when I was there, and I don't know if they still
do.
Wait.
The biggest thing is
these flight simulators.
They have the original Starship Enterprise that they fully restored.
They fully restored that recently. Absolutely. They have flight simulators in there. I mean, the real nice.
Keep talking over him and repeat what he just said.
Real nice flight simulators. Go take a look at those. We rented out the Air and Space Museum one night. My company did when I was working up in that area, and they got us all drunk and put us in the well, they didn't put us in the simulators, but they had the simulators there for us.
They got you drunk though?
Well, I mean,
they didn't put you in the thing when they got.
Anyway, you can now take audio tours of it in Klingon. To celebrate the 50th anniversary of Star Trek, so I thought that was
of course, because who doesn't want to listen to a made-up language that you don't care to understand?
Some people do understand it and care to understand it.
Some people actually speak it in their homes as their first language.
Do you?
No.
Oh, they said that Autologon did not work for them.
First language. But...
What didn't work for you on that, Joe Chamberlain?
Was it the scripting part, or did it just not work if you tried it just outright? I wonder if Mark knows all the secrets. Working at Microsoft. Surely.
Yeah, I thought that's why he agreed to go to
Super
Microsoft.
weird. Like some of his papers are just above my head for like the rest of my life.
It's not auto login using our agent.
Using our agent.
So when you script it with Kaseya, are you passing it the agent's username and password, or I'm not sure how Kaseya sets stuff up like that. Do they have a
Remember, I thought it ran as under the system account actually.
Yeah, and you're not going to be able to auto log in a system.
Yeah, but it. It's been a long time since I used Kaseya. I don't really recall. But it might be one of those user account things, like where if you're on an admin account, okay, and then Kaseya uses that admin account, okay.
And then your script that you're deploying uses that auto login, and it passes the admin account and the password for that admin account.
Yeah, like
to have that and the domain if you wanted to use.
Well, I would imagine you couldn't do that. I mean, because if it auto logs in your admin account, that would be like what doesn't make sense. Why you would want to do that? Actually, you would want to auto log in as like an account with desktop, you know.
Yeah, local admin, not domain.
Well, local domain, it doesn't matter, but you want to log in with something with the desktop, I would imagine, or.
Well, if the Kaseya has
There's
its
no point.
If the Kaseya has its own admin account on the system, I'm assuming he meant it has a user admin account on the system that it adds.
Well, right, but it's probably one of those things that's like that is like hidden from the login screen and running in the background kind of thing.
Yeah, restricted user maybe.
Yeah,
restricted
you
admin
don't.
user or something like that.
Well, it's not restricted, but it's a special account or something. Microsoft literally calls it a special account or something that is hidden from the login. It's actually, there's a registry key for it that you can create to hide any account from the login screen, and that also effectively prevents a couple of things, maybe like the point of what you're trying to do. I'm not sure. I wonder if that's what Kaseya is doing.
Yeah. Are you able to see the admin account on the login screen when you try to sign in? And aside of that, would you be able to create your own user, like for that computer, just like a regular admin, and then see if that scripting works for it? Because I guess it's.
Well, why would you need to auto log on with your agent user? Actually, is probably a different question.
So that they can do scanning with it?
But even if no one is logged in, if you like send a command to the PC to do something, you know, I mean, it's probably using the system account, even if it uses a regular admin account after that, it should do something, you know, like behind the scenes. You should need like a desktop to clean PCs. So like for manual, like you're like remoted in with like Kaseya. It used to use TeamViewer, I think it did. I thought it used to use TeamViewer or something.
But I think his point is that he doesn't want to be remoted in. They want to have this all scripted to do it without them having any interaction at all.
I don't know what the delay is like between the chat and what we're saying, so like the simple yes is like, especially when we ask a lot of questions, it's like, well, what was the yes for? I don't even know where to start or back up.
Yeah, so they want to, essentially what he's trying to go for is to have automated routines where they don't have any touching of it. They just have everything scripted to clean up automatically in the background.
So you like need a desktop to load.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is create your own admin account on the PC, then use that for your scripting ability. Set a password on it, obviously, so that end users, even if they see it on their screen, aren't going to be able to log into it. And you can use that to script.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do that. Let's see if I can find that key. But you're gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to have your own separate admin account, and it would of course log anyone else off. But on a workstation, it was.
But is that special account? Is that special account the Kaseya one, or is that one that you specifically created through the machine itself? Because again, I haven't worked with Kaseya, so I'm not positive on the workflow. But I would imagine what you would want is like a scheduled task to run that auto login script, then reboot the system. Then once it rebooted, it would log in with your user account. And at that point, you would probably want to have like some startup items or a script in your startup to have it automatically start running some of the stuff.
I just did a search for what I thought was similar to the registry key. I came up with this one. It's not exactly what you're looking for as far as creating an account and hiding it, but it talks about an issue that is with UAC. And it also does have the registry key, which I'll post here. That's what I was actually searching for. And you can add a user account name to that registry key, and then set the D-word value for the account name to 0. It'll hide it from the logon screen. I wasn't aware that would cause a problem with UAC prompts. Apparently that login has a solution. I made that login. That link has a solution for that. Perhaps I can look into it a little more, but
I guess where you're going with that is checking to see if that account that they created through Kaseya and it shows up in local accounts is on that list, because then maybe it's not a full administrator and have like.
Oh, it would be. Yeah. Oh, it should be. Would be. Should be.
Well, where's the? I thought you said like it wouldn't have like a desktop to load kind of thing.
Oh no, you have a desktop and it can be a full user and you can log into it. Otherwise, it would just be hidden from a login screen or any display of multiple users, like any user display. Or it would show you various users. Like it would be hidden from that, but the user would still exist. Like .NET. Remember when .NET Framework was the big deal, was coming out, and Vista and above, XP and above. I'm sorry, would have the. Remember back in the day, you'd have those .NET accounts show up on the welcome screen sometimes. They didn't do that right or something in the beginning. There's always like that .NET user or something, or used to be, would be a separate user account. You could actually log into that, but it would show up in lists when it shouldn't have, does it?
But he's not worried about that. He's trying to figure out why the auto login stuff isn't working.
Well, I wouldn't. I was somewhere to start,
But so he has a special account and it has a password. They set it up through Kaseya, and the sysinternals auto login thing isn't working in the way they need it to.
Okay.
And I was assuming that if they created a special account, that maybe it's not an actual real account, that they can do that.
I was trying to say that it is. It just is not supposed to be visible to anyone with a user interface.
And would that, do you think that would prevent the Autologon utility from?
Well, according to that first link I posted, it said something about having problems with UAC prompts.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't actually read the whole link. I'm sorry. I feel like Michael all of a sudden, but I was trying to.
So maybe the Autologin is using one of those regular lists of users that people can log in with, not the. And if it's hidden from that, then it would have problems logging in automatically.
Oh heck, I don't know. But I mean, I can dig up the keys that are supposed to be.
No, that sounds like a good place to start checking into.
Login keys. So I remember when it was 7, I had to start doing a bunch of extra stuff to get Autologon to work. Or 8, I'm sorry, Windows 8.
He's got to go close the store, so if you want to look those up, and when he gets back, we can post them there. In other news, though, the U.S. now has its first cybersecurity chief. And I posted the slashed out on it because I'm sure there's plenty of comments on it, but there's also this article that shows you a picture of them, and just off the picture, I'm like, really? They appointed someone like that to have our cybersecurity in mind? But apparently he does have a lot of experience in cybersecurity, so at least he knows what a computer is.
Is that like what's that? Russian or Polish name or something? Didn't you say those were like Poland was like the top second or third or something? And it was like Russia, China, and then Poland. And the thing you were talking about the other day of.
I think Poland had a high level in something like a specific category, but I don't know.
Yeah, it was like a good one though. It was like one of the main ones. But yeah, I was anyway.
Yeah, you may be. I don't know.
Loves my Chinese and Russian code, by the way. And never ran across any code that had to use Polish translator on.
I thought it was that Poland was in Python for some reason. Maybe it's just because
that might have been it. Actually, Python's an awesome language, really. Too bad it needs an interpreter always, but.
I can't find that link that was about that right offhand, so go back into one of our previous shows and find that link if you want to know more about it.
That wasn't but a couple of days ago, I think.
Yeah, sometime within the last week, I believe.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he does look a little not.
Yeah, that's what I was like. And I guess after I read more into it and read his resume, he does have some experience in cybersecurity, but
let's just throw out profiling?
Yeah.
Stereotypes.
Stereotyping. That was definitely a stereotyping profile that I did.
Yep. Yes, you did.
Still.
And me too. Just now, but it was based on what you said. Actually.
Yeah, but still, even though. I would expect that they would have gone with some, I don't know.
I forgot what I was doing just now.
Looking up the Autologin registry keys.
Oh man, really? Yeah, I got passwords for this and passwords for that. I had to reboot, I can't do that today, actually. You have to remind me.
Okay. So Shuk is thinking about building a Kodi media player. Michael definitely has some words on that, I'm sure, because he runs one.
In fact, we don't have time for Michael's words on that, I'm sure.
Not all of them. But he does run one, and I believe he goes with OpenELEC. Is that...
I was talking about Plexi.
Audio just cut out. What was that last thing you said, Brantley?
Are you running OpenELEC?
Nothing.
Am I running OpenELEC? LibreELEC specifically, but I recommend if you want to go to a 64-bit platform for Kodi, you're going to do LibreELEC. If you have a 32-bit platform, you can stay on OpenELEC if you want to. But a large number of OpenELEC developers left and went to LibreELEC.
Pi stuff though?
What's that?
Is that only for the ARM-based stuff, or is that for real computers as well?
Yeah, you can x86. I mean, you can run Kodi on.
I mean, the one that you just talked about, LibreELEC. You can run Kodi on.
Yeah. LibreELEC should still be available for all platforms, just like OpenELEC was.
Well, in that light, I would recommend this is a super nice system for that type of setup.
Just felt like saying that.
Yeah. That's the one that Michael had originally gotten.
Well, it's not the exact one. Mine had the.
Yeah, yours was actually worse, but
yeah.
Anyway, I was there. So, that one is a good box. It's actually what I use as my internet gateway. But the nice thing about that one is it has HDMI out, so that's really nice. If you're using it for a media box, fanless, absolutely. It does not get that hot, and I actually run it pretty hard and heavy. So,
what was your budget? What was his budget?
He didn't say a budget, but
because that's a little on the high end. You don't need quite that much power to do Kodi. So, for instance, my main Kodi rig is a ARM V8. 2 gig or 1.
Which one is it? The Odroid C2? Is that
it's the Odroid C2 specifically. Yes.
Okay, so he's using the Odroid C2 for that. But the box that I posted is a great box overall if you do want to have that extra power. And like I said, I like hooking up a full computer to my TV. I don't prefer a media center specific, but
like I was like that when I was a single bachelor. Since that time, it's just not doable. It's more frustration than it's worth. When you're not the one sitting in front of the computer, especially.
Okay. So I would recommend the C2, but let me give you the caveats. The LibreELEC distribution is considered to be in an alpha state for it right now. Despite that, I tend to not have terribly much trouble with it. The problem is there's still a little bit of a transition from the older generation of Kodi to the newer generation, and there's some development, that's, anyway, it's taking a little bit longer. So to have a mature product, you're going to have to probably stick to ARM v7, to the 32-bit ARM, but you need one that's fast, and things like the Pi 2 and 3. The Pi 3 probably would be okay, but kind of want a little bit more for these types of computers. The Odroid C2 has 2 gigs of RAM and a faster processor than the Pi 3, although not by a ton.
Oh crud! Am I not heard?
I can hear you.
Am I like normal volume level?
No, you're like quiet.
How about now?
Now you're better.
Okay. So, okay. Thank you.
And so he wants one of the micro PCs, not a ARM setup. So.
Oh, okay. Well, he can go for. There's more than enough power in that one, but that's not particularly a new model. That one that you posted. They're probably ones that you can get for, I don't know, maybe 150.
I mean, that one works great for me, and I can highly recommend it. So, you would have to get a hard drive and and RAM for it. So,
if you need 4K, you need an HDMI port that supports that. I don't know if that one does have that.
I'm not sure. I don't even use the the video out on it. So
Yeah, being on your router. So that's a very important point, Glenn, is
my
that you'll
gateway is
absolutely,
not on my router.
or gateway, sorry. So very important point there. For 4K video playback, you know, you need to make sure you have a proper output and a proper, I guess, TV. I'm assuming you already have the TV you want, so that would probably need something. Let me see if I can find something. It's going to be one of the newer boxes, though, and it's probably going to be a little bit more expensive than what Brantley put. Let's see.
It does, Glenn. It does.
Oh yeah.
So
Is that Sanford and Sons?
Did you just hear that?
Well, you've been playing it over and over again, yes, if that's what you mean.
That right?
No, we didn't hear that. But we have been hearing dummy, 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 just played randomly over and over again.
Are you hearing it now?
No.
Weird. But yes, it is. I was
Yes.
just testing.
But it was coming through loud and clear up until now when you're saying, can we hear it now? So we are at our hour time limit for the day. I did have one more interesting link I wanted to post just because it's in the state that I'm in. Apparently another Samsung has exploded, and actually this time it burned down an entire house. So
okay.
you don't charge those without being around them.
Yeah, be careful. But getting back, Glenn, just one more thing there to close. So the 1.4 HDMI 1.4a that supports 4K, but only at 30 hertz refresh rate. You would need something beyond that HDMI 2.0 to get the 60 hertz refresh rate at 4K video. If that's important to you, you need to look at the specific compatibility. The ones that I sent you are all, or the ones in that Intel post all should be 1.4, but you need an even newer one, 6th or 7th generation, to get the 2.0.
Well, all right.
So, yeah, dwell on that and
Thank you.
let us know
Michael.
what you decide. Let us know what you decide, Glenn.
Yeah. All right, well, I think that should wrap us up for today. Thanks, everyone, for joining us, as always, and entertaining in the chat. And we will be back Monday morning at 8 a.m. And, Michael, are you going to do the managed AV overview? I'm going to take that as a no. I will probably come up with something else, and I'll probably do another red team style demo, so look forward to that.
I wanted to actually, it might be a little bit premature, but if not this Monday, maybe a following Monday, I set up the land turtle to do that type of attack that the USB armor did.
Did you get it to work?
Well, I didn't, but I think that's because of the module is still kind of in development for the turtle. They are seemingly making changes to it, and there's the instructions for it are lacking from what I saw. So I don't think I'm ready to try that out yet, but I hopefully will have something for you in the next week or so.
Okay. Cool. Well, otherwise, we'll be back Monday at 8 a.m. And thanks again for everyone joining us, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye, Internet.
Bye, Internet.
Later.
Okay, I'm shutting down Twitch, and I'm bringing you